You guys see this shit?
I'm Andy, and I'm a protector. I've been an officer for over 16 years. In my career, I've worked patrol, criminal gang homicide unit, a Bureau Special Problems unit, and the Elite Metropolitan Division. I am currently a member of our SWAT team for the past 6 years. My specialty training includes explosive breaching, special vehicle operations, boat driver, tech, robotics, and also a drone pilot. With all the training and real-world incidents that I've responded to, I feel very comfortable when it comes to any dynamic situations. This translates to as someone who you can rely on to handle situations appropriately and calmly. A protector isn't just a security guard or bodyguard. All of our protectors are either current or former law enforcement or military special operations.
Sorry, I thought this video would explain the bit right from the get-go. Some guy made Uber, except it's probably 10 times as expensive, and instead of a driver, it's like a security guard in a car picks you up. It's a Uber, but this guy picks you up, basically.
Or often both. We are trained in tactical combat casualty care, risk assessment, and risk mitigation, and site assessment. We spend our careers heading towards danger, but we are also trained to extract ourselves and our protectees from those dangerous situations. We are available for booking in New York and Los Angeles, and are ready to serve you with quality and qualified.
The Rent-A-Goon. This, I think this is a great grift, personally. New York and Los Angeles. The idea, like, anyone who would spend money on this probably deserves to lose money. I think this is in response to executives being afraid of a Luigi situation. Yeah, but executives have actual bodyguards. This is a rent-a-bodyguard, you know? This isn't for, like, super wealthy elites. This is for loser, upper-middle-class Silicon Valley tech guys or whatever, or, like, paranoid upper-crust types in Los Angeles to briefly enjoy the experience of spending $800 on a guy with this thick of a neck driving them around. You ever just innately distrust anyone who works in special forces who's this muscular? What are you using those muscles for? It's not like you're de-escalating. It'd be one thing if American cops, like, ever restrain people, but you're not restraining you're not touching anyone. You're screaming like a girl and firing blindly into a crowd the second someone throws a rock at you, you know? Yeah, it's just for advertising. Or an acorn hits the car, exactly.
Years with the Los
Oh, they
Angeles
have
Police
multiple.
Department. My work ranged from military police investigations, convoy securities, PSD operations.
I was stationed at the Pentagon.
I serve as detective specializing in digital forensics.
I'm currently a member of our SWAT team.
I proudly serve as a commander in the United States military.
Being a protector.
Actual elite athletes and fighters have very different looking bodies. Oh yeah, basically nobody who works out for practical reasons has a body that looks like that first guy that we saw. This is like a maximizing muscle growth routine, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of funny when for such a like vanity oriented weightlifting routine to be paired with this like super high-minded practical like that's the thing they're trying to push. That guy's taking steroids. Yeah, of course that guy's taking steroids. Absolutely.
Means putting others before yourselves. Our team is comprised of current and former law enforcement officers and military personnel with the experience and skills to back it up.
We're trained in tactical combat casualty care, risk assessment, risk mitigation, and site assessment.
We spent our careers heading towards.
Can you imagine being the kind of guy who would order this? This guy's aerodynamic as
It's called Patrol. Hello, Los Angeles. We made
so
an app just for
shiny.
you. It's called Patrol.
Patrol is an app where you and your neighbors can crowdfund security and protection for your neighborhood.
Oh, is it non-Uber? It's non-Uber? It's like you and your $50,000 goal reached, one armed patrol car. Holy shit. They've gamified community private security.
Patrol is an app where you and your neighbors can crowdfund security and protection for your neighborhood.
The app is simple. After selecting your neighborhood, you're going to be able to see how much you and your neighbors have raised.
Protector is the Uber, Patrol is the police. Okay, gotcha.
Additional funding will unlock additional tiers of protection to include additional vehicles and eventually drone and robotic technology.
You guys ready for like the ballooning HOA costs where they're like, yeah, you have to bring your garbage in 8 minutes after it gets collected, mow your lawn every day, and also we need at least $20,000 being contributed.
Within the app, you'll have access to a live map giving you real-time information on where the patrol cars are in your area.
You'll receive push notifications to your phone letting you know when each operator starts and ends their shift.
Additionally, we have a feature that allows you to
Scared white people are a cancer in our society. It's literally like we don't even live in a society anymore, you know? Man, are police not enough for you? Do police not patrol gated communities enough for you? Jesus Christ. This is IRL Militech from Cyberpunk Lamau. I mean, yeah, we're basically like turning into Latin America. Like really quickly, you know? Like we have incredible amounts of income inequality like in Latin America, and now we're getting the like some neighborhoods are literally not just gated or whatever, but like walled off super fortresses. South Africa coded, yeah.
For non-emergency incidents such as
What if we took like the social distrust of South Africa, but we had like 1/500th the crime rate, you know?
suspicious vehicles or individuals in your neighborhood.
Unlike security companies in your neighborhood, we're not mall cops. We're real cops. All of our operators are...
No, you're not real cops. You don't have any legal authority. You might be an off-duty cop, but you don't have the authority to do anything as a patrol guard. What are you going to do? You're not a cop.
Are active or recently retired law enforcement with years of experience responding to all types of calls.
At Patrol, we offer an Intuit experience that allows you and
Tua?
your loved ones to access quality and qualified protection for your neighborhood.
Off-duty cops still have police powers. It depends on in what capacity they're being hired. You can hire an off-duty cop as a security guard, and they can kind of access their magical cop powers. But if they're just like in a security company being hired under another banner, like they can't.
For 12 years as a sniper,
Man
breacher.
bun.
My name is John, and I'm a protector. I served in the SEAL teams
Bosch?
for 12 years as a sniper, breacher, and canine handler. I've deployed multiple times, including to Afghanistan, working in hostile environments. As a sniper, I specialized in long-range precision engagements and reconnaissance. As a breacher, I was responsible for explosive and mechanical entry, ensuring mission success in urban and rural combat. As a canine handler, I worked alongside highly trained multi-purpose military dogs for tracking, detection, and force protection. SEALs are trained to operate in the most hostile environments, whether it's sea, air, or land, executing some of the most complex and dangerous missions.
The app showing where the security is sounds like an OPSEC issue. Anyone would do a break-in can see how far away you are. Yeah, well, none of this is actually about protection. It's just about making wealthy people feel protected, you know? So it's like the actual effectiveness of this app has very little to do with the point, right?
A dedicated and experienced SWAT officer with over 15 years in tactical operations, emergency response, and law enforcement. I have extensive experience in high-risk operations, including hostage rescue, hostage negotiation, counterterrorism, and crisis resolution. As both a leader and a team player, I'm adept at operating in high-pressure...
I want to learn more about the... not the little bios or whatever. I want to learn more about... Of course. We revisit the murder of United Healthcare CEO and examine how a protector might have changed the outcome. If this is like the Mark Wahlberg, 9/11 would have gone down differently if I had been on that plane. I want to learn more about Patrol. They only have one Patrol video. I want more on Patrol. I want to learn more about like the wealthy neighborhoods.
Is not just dealing with direct threats or mitigating the risk of that threat. Being a protector also involves dealing with the potential consequences, such as traumatic injuries. A lot of lessons were learned overseas in the last 2 decades of war, and one of them was that there are 3 primary traumatic injuries that are survivable when treated properly. All protectors come equipped to deal with those injuries.
Yeah.
The first form of injury that's survivable is extensive extremity bleeds. To deal with that is actually relatively simple in terms of a tourniquet or hemostatic gauze.
We only learned this in the past 20 years of combat experience. This is like a new innovation brought to us by veterans from Afghanistan and Iraq. Thank you. Excessive bleeding on your extremities can be remedied with a tourniquet and gauze. Okay, gotcha.
And if applied quickly and properly, that's an extremely survivable situation. The next cause, which is approximately 30% of survivable combat injuries, is what's called a tension pneumothorax. That's any penetrating wound to the thorax, which allows...
What were those cuts?
30% of survivable combat injuries is what's called a tension pneumothorax. That's any penetrating wound to the thorax.
There was 3 cuts in 1 second. What did he say? Did he just between them? What was it? That looked like a YouTube poop where you make a person say something that they didn't say.
Which allows air to get induced into the pleural cavity. It compresses the heart. To mitigate that, we have chest seals. A chest seal would be placed over that penetrating wound, either front or back or both. It can be opened on one side, allowing air to exit but not air to enter. The last survivable cause of trauma injury would be damage to the facial area, not allowing you to breathe. For that, we come with nasopharyngeal airways and oropharyngeal airways that can create an artificial airway, allowing the patient to breathe until we can...
Isn't that just a tracheectomy? That's the shit they're always doing in movies where they, like, hollow out a pen and stab it into your throat or something, making it sound fancy.
Move that patient to definitive care.
No, it's not. I don't really care.
One of the most important pieces of gear you can have in any trauma kit is an AED, or an automatic external defibrillator. This device treats the most common form of what's commonly known as a heart attack or ventricular fibrillation. A ventricular fibrillation can happen to anyone, a child, an adult due to trauma, or just someone who has a wiring problem. This device.
How much do you think they would bill you if they had to use any of this on you? Like, they probably got it from military contractors or from like civilian accessible military contractors who upcharge the fuck out of these. This is so funny, dude.
Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was killed on December 4th,
They
2024
posted this on January 6th.
in Midtown Manhattan. Now we're going to run through a scenario to demonstrate where if a protector had been present, crisis could have been averted. Brian was walking alone at 6:45 a.m., heading towards the hotel where he was attending an event. The assailant, dressed in a light brown or cream-colored hoodie, waited across the street from the hotel for several minutes, then crossed over when he saw Thompson. Standing approximately 20 feet away from Thompson when he arrived at the entrance, the assailant fired 3 times at him from a suppressed pistol, striking him in the back and right calf. You and your family are important enough.
Okay, how much of a recreation do you think they're gonna do? Like, they're gonna... Here's how a windmill kick from one of our Afghanistan vets might have, like, disarmed Luigi before he could have gotten the shot off.
That protection needs to be discussed and utilized. At Protector, our operators have the training and experience to mitigate, eliminate, and manage risk in order to provide a safe and comfortable environment for you, your associates, and your loved ones. Our operators can provide a detailed advance of vulnerable locations and routes of travel. We look for...
This guy's just doing the vet bro grift guys have been doing since Black Rifle Co. and Ranger Up. Yeah. No, it's the... They love doing this shit. It's the same grift that they've been selling with every... You know how a bunch of regular, ordinary, completely, like, nothing wrong with them department stores now have weirdly well-armed security guys at the front? There's this whole overlapping intersection between the military, the police, the IDF, mercenary groups, and private security that basically just amounts to, if you have the physiognomy of this individual, you can basically make $200,000 a year every year up until you're 65 just by making videos like this and selling yourself to very, very paranoid wealthy people. You know? Like, you don't actually do anything. None of these security guards do anything. You're just there, yeah, you're playing Candy Crush on your phone or whatever.
Choke points, high ground, obstacles to ingress and egress. We'll provide safe alternatives or develop strategies to address potential threats. The role of a protector is to avert crisis from happening in the first place. Security experts refer to this as pre-incident indicators, such as spotting inappropriate clothing for the environment or weather conditions, unusual gait or lack of arm swing indicating they're concealing a weapon, and frequent checking of pockets or waistband. In the event of
way to give the game away.
Traumatic injury does occur, protectors can quickly neutralize the threat, provide life-saving medical attention until definitive care can be reached. Now we're going to run through a scenario to demonstrate where if a protector had been present, crisis could have been averted.
Yes!
Hey, what's going on? Keep walking, sir. What's going on, man? How are you?
Damn, dude. That, like... It really is gonna be like Cyberpunk, where you come within 40 feet of a Militech guy, and they're like, "Who the f are you? Get away from here!"
Hey, what's
right? Like that. Dude, you're in Midtown Manhattan. They trying to walk through like a crowded, trying to walk past a crowded street. This guy's like, hey, like creating like a 40-foot radius barrier around their, the person who hired them. How'd you pick up on his demeanor when he's behind you? That's crazy. I guess that's like talent, you know?
What's going on? Keep walking, sir. What's going on, man? How are you? In the first scenario, the protector observed the suspicious suspect and acted to intervene before any incidents occurred.
And that would have deterred Luigi. Thankfully for, thankfully for these two thumbs, pistols only work from a 5-foot distance. Guy's a NEN user for sure. Oh, yeah.
Sir, what's going on, man? How are you? In the first scenario, the protector observed the suspicious suspect and acted to intervene before any incidents occurred.
Please do a windmill kick. Please. Yes, swing around. Yeah! Got his ass.
In the second scenario,
just executed instantly as he reached for something in his pocket. Yeah! Just me casually checking my phone. It's kind of like in the pocket of my skinny jeans. See, it's like, it's kind of like in there, so you have to wiggle it out a little bit. Bam! Executed. Guy gets a text from his wife. asking him to pick up some $42 eggs on the way back home as a birthday gift to their dying mother.
In the second scenario, the protector observed the suspect attempting to draw.
This is going to get so many black people killed. Guys, I've got good news for you. This is a LARP. In reality, private security would never act this audaciously because the liability and lawsuits that would come from it are not worth it to the company that hires them. Much in the same way that all of those extremely well-armed security guards that you see at like Target or whatever, they're deterrents. They don't actually do anything. The most they can do is if a homeless dude walks in and starts like harassing people, or physically roughhousing or whatever else, they can like kind of grab him and put him outside. But even that's pretty rare because like, why risk the liability? You're mostly just there to be a deterrent, you know? It's all performative. You're forgetting Trump is going to make it illegal to sue over this? Listen, okay, just remember that paranoia runs in a lot of directions. Remember those 3 Israelis in Miami the other day? The one who opened fire on the 2 because he thought they were Palestinian, and then the 2 surviving and posting those Arabs in response to the other Israeli. Look, paranoia runs in a bunch of different directions, okay? All I'm saying is, like, there's a reason why security companies tend to be not as aggressive as they seem kitted to be when dealing with people.
A weapon, I interceded by capping the weapon and engaging the suspect, eliminating the threat.
Oh, yeah. My leg! You see, the electromagnets that our officers carry in their vest at all times would simply push the bullet away from any like vital areas. Holy shit. Let's see it again. Dude, that was a very convincing mock-up. Does anyone else feel like this was a pretty slow draw from the security guard too, considering the fact that it's a LARPy advertisement? Like, it's because of the cut in the video, but it takes them like a full second to draw, which for people with this experience, drawing is like instant, basically. Have you seen like a veteran draw, like in a video where like they're at the gun range or something, like they're practicing quick draw firing, and it's literally like you blink and then suddenly there's a gun in their hand. It's insanely fast, you know? Bro is not from the Wild West. No. It's the slim suit. You're right. Look at this collar gap. If our man over here was simply wearing a full cut suit with like an American sack suit with a nice bit of drape under the shoulder, maybe he wouldn't like, look at these pants, man. Are you kidding me? Bad fashion strikes again, I'm telling you. Yep. My leg.
Call 911. In scenario 3, the suspect was able to commit a violent action. In that situation,
I like how even in this mock-up, he doesn't immediately rush to the shot person he's meant to be protecting, which is the thing that every bodyguard would do. Like, in a scenario like this, wouldn't you, like, double tap the guy you just shot and then run over to help the person who you're protecting or something? Or, like, make sure he's down? I don't know. You just, like, leave him bleeding there for, like, 15 seconds while you fumble for your... You know... It's okay, it's just a leg shot. That's true. There are no vital arteries there. That's a war crime. This isn't war, okay? I mean, these are the mean streets of Los Angeles. He's looting? Oh yeah, he's going over to the corpse of Luigi Mangione and holding E. Kind of like a reflex, you know.
In scenario 3, the suspect was able to commit a violent action. In that situation,
because of my slow-ass draw that I kept in the promotional video for some reason,
the protector would still eliminate the threat, secure the suspect and secure the weapon, notify emergency services, and begin emergency medical care on our patient. Sir, where are you hit?
Thankfully, just the leg. It's just like in real life, you know?
And at this point, I would dispose of the wound, apply a tourniquet, and notify EMS.
This is such a good grift, dude. I'm like a broad-shouldered, big-chested, 6'2" white guy. If I got really yoked, I wonder if I could get in on this circuit. It doesn't pay as well as the streaming, but it seems like a lot of fun because you don't have to do any work. Like, there are consequences to what I do. You think any of these security motherfuckers are ever going to see any... Dude, do you have any idea how safe the world is these days? You can walk through Skid Row, man. It's fine. Who the fuck's coming after a dude with a bodyguard next to him? Like, what kind of idiot? Like the gangs in Los Angeles or whatever. You know, they're gonna be like, what are we doing today? What's on the docket today? Well, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go after that obvious, like, veteran in a suit with a flak vest under his shirt and like a bunch of, you know, like 6 utility belts and the cargo pants and shit. Like, yeah, let's just fuck with those guys for some reason. Everyone thinks it's because they watch, I don't know. Everyone watched The Wire or Breaking Bad or Sopranos or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, crime's around every corner. No, it's not. I mean, maybe some crimes, like jaywalking. So you're saying the bodyguard works as a deterrent, but they're not doing shit. And by the way, you can achieve that effect by just being in a group of people. Do you know how rare it is for like a group of guys to get hassled anywhere in America? Like, if you're with, like, a group of friends or something. Like, what is a CEO doing walking in, what, Skid Row at 2 a.m.? What are you doing? The cartels will hire them watch. Okay, you think that's a joke, but a lot of these Blackwater, like, ex-military, ex-cop mercenary fucks actually do go and work for foreign powers. They work everywhere. They're in Africa, guarding warlords. They're in Russia. They're in you know, Turkmenistan, they're in Turkey, they're all over the place. You know, they don't care. It's not like they're moral people. They don't give a shit. Do you have any idea how much of a flex it is if you're a foreign warlord or dictator to have an American, like, veteran guarding you? That's a huge flex. You say this, but you wouldn't walk at Crenshaw at night? Well, I would have when I was a young man at like 18, but now I'm 31 and I have, you know, people I love and a life that I care about, so I feel like maybe I wouldn't. You get the same effect just with a poster of a cop. Cardboard cutouts prove effective in cutting crime rate. This is from 1991. How the f did you find this? It's true, though. Studies have shown you can literally reduce crime just by putting, like, mirrors up or putting, like certain images up. Those neighborhood watch signs deter more crime than the neighborhood watch itself does.